Around 60 million years ago, deep in the steaming jungles of prehistoric South America, a predator ruled with silent, crushing power. Long before humans walked the earth, before mammoths roamed the ice, and even before the first true primates climbed through the trees, there existed a snake so massive, so overwhelming in strength, that it redefined what we think a reptile can be. Its name was Titanoboa. Discovered in the coal mines of Cerrejón in modern-day Colombia in 2009, Titanoboa shocked the scientific world. This was not just another prehistoric reptile. This was the largest snake ever known to have lived. Scientists named it Titanoboa cerrejonensis, and the numbers are almost unbelievable. Estimates suggest it stretched up to 42 feet long and weighed over 2,500 pounds. To put that into perspective, the largest living snake today, the green anaconda of the Amazon, rarely exceeds 20 feet. Titanoboa was twice that length, and far heavier. Imagine standing at the edge of a dense swamp in the Paleocene epoch. The air is thick with humidity. Giant ferns tower overhead, early crocodilians slide silently through murky water. Turtles the size of car tires bask in the heat. And somewhere beneath the surface, waiting in absolute stillness, is Titanoboa. You wouldn't see it coming. You wouldn't hear it, and by the time you realized it was there, it would already be too late. Titanoboa lived roughly 5 million years after the extinction of the dinosaurs. The asteroid impact that ended the reign of creatures like Tyrannosaurus rex had reshaped Earth's ecosystems. In the aftermath, mammals were still small and relatively insignificant. The top predators of this era were reptiles, and Titanoboa was at the top of that list. This was not a venomous snake. It didn't rely on toxins to kill. Instead, like modern boas and anacondas, Titanoboa was a constrictor. It would strike with lightning speed, latch onto its prey with backward curving teeth, and wrap its massive coils around the victim's body. Each time the prey exhaled, Titanoboa tightened its grip. The pressure would have been immense, far beyond what any living snake can produce today. Bones would crack, blood flow would stop. Within minutes, the struggle would end. Scientists believe Titanoboa primarily hunted large crocodilian species that shared its swampy habitat. Fossils found in the same region reveal ancient relatives of modern crocodiles, some stretching over 10 feet long. Even these armored reptiles were not safe. In what could only be described as the deadliest battles of the Paleocene, giant crocodilians and Titanoboa likely clashed in brutal, silent confrontations beneath the water's surface. Picture the scene. A crocodilian glides through murky water, jaws slightly open, scanning for fish. Suddenly, from below, a massive shadow erupts upward. Titanoboa's jaws clamp onto the reptile's torso. The swamp explodes into chaos. Water churns. The crocodilian twists, snapping its powerful jaws, attempting to roll and tear free. But Titanoboa is longer, heavier, and built for this exact fight. Its coils wrap around the struggling predator. Muscles thicker than tree trunks contract with overwhelming force. Slowly, the crocodilian's movements weaken. The swamp grows still once more. Only ripples remain. This wasn't just a predator. It was a symbol of a world recovering from catastrophe. The Paleocene climate was far warmer than today. Tropical conditions extended much farther across the globe. The reason Titanoboa could grow so large lies in this intense heat. Snakes are cold-blooded, meaning their body temperature depends on their environment. Larger body sizes require higher average temperatures to maintain metabolic function. The existence of Titanoboa tells scientists something profound. The Earth during its time was significantly hotter than it is today. In fact, researchers estimate average temperatures in its habitat may have reached around 86 to 93 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. The greenhouse world of the Paleocene provided perfect conditions for gigantism. Without cold seasons to limit growth, reptiles could reach astonishing sizes. Titanoboa was not an accident of evolution, it was a product of extreme climate. The discovery of Titanoboa fossils in Cerrejón was groundbreaking. Paleontologists uncovered over 100 vertebrae, allowing them to estimate its full size. Each vertebra was enormous, some larger than a human hand. By comparing these bones to modern snakes, scientists reconstructed the body proportions of this ancient monster. The result was something that seemed almost mythical, a serpent rivaling the largest dinosaurs in length, dominating its ecosystem with unmatched power. When news of Titanoboa spread, it captured global imagination. Museums built life-sized models. Documentaries recreated its hunting strategies. For many, it became the ultimate symbol of prehistoric terror. Unlike towering dinosaurs with claws and teeth, Titanoboa represents a different kind of fear, the fear of constriction, of being overpowered silently, of something unseen lurking beneath the surface. But how would Titanoboa fare against the predators we know from other eras? Could it defeat a Tyrannosaurus? Probably not, given they lived millions of years apart and in different environments. But in its own world, Titanoboa needed no competition. Mammals were small, birds were still evolving into larger forms. Crocodilians were its primary rivals, and even they likely avoided direct confrontation whenever possible. What makes Titanoboa especially fascinating is that it bridges two worlds, the age of dinosaurs and the rise of mammals. It reminds us that extinction events do not simply reset life to small, harmless creatures. Sometimes, in the vacuum left behind, new giants emerge. The fall of dinosaurs opened ecological space. Titanoboa filled it with terrifying efficiency. There's also a psychological element to Titanoboa's legacy. Humans have an ancient fear of snakes. Across cultures and mythologies, serpents appear as symbols of danger, chaos, or forbidden power. From the biblical serpent in the Garden of Eden to the monstrous Jormungandr of Norse mythology, giant snakes have haunted our stories for thousands of years. Titanoboa proves that nature once created something even more extreme than our legends. Yet despite its size and power, Titanoboa eventually disappeared. As global temperatures cooled over millions of years, the environmental conditions that allowed such massive reptiles to thrive began to fade. Ecosystems shifted, mammals grew larger and more diverse. Competition increased. Titanoboa's reign came to an end, not with a dramatic extinction event, but likely through gradual climate change and ecological transformation. Today, its fossils rest as silent witnesses to a lost world. They tell a story of resilience after catastrophe, of evolution pushing physical limits, and of an Earth far hotter and wilder than the one we know. They remind us that our planet has always been dynamic, shaped by forces beyond imagination. If Titanoboa existed today, it would be unlike anything humanity has ever faced. A 40-foot constrictor weighing more than a small car would dominate any ecosystem it entered. Modern infrastructure, weapons, and technology might eventually control it, but in the wild, face to face, the outcome would be terrifyingly predictable. The real battle Titanoboa represents isn't just between predator and prey. It's a battle between eras. Between extinction and adaptation. Between climate and biology. It stands as proof that life does not simply survive, it evolves into forms that push the boundaries of possibility. When we think of ancient history's deadliest battles, we often imagine clashing armies, armored warriors, or roaring dinosaurs. But some of the most brutal conflicts happened in silence, beneath swamp waters, where two apex predators fought with nothing but instinct and muscle. No witnesses, no survivors, just raw prehistoric power. Titanoboa was not just the largest snake in history. It was the embodiment of a primeval Earth, hot, humid, and unforgiving. Its story stretches across millions of years to reach us, carried through stone and fossilized bone. And while it may be gone, the idea of it still coils around our imagination. Somewhere in the depths of time, in a swamp long turned to coal, the deadliest battles in ancient history were fought not with swords or spears, but with coils and crushing force. And at the center of it all was Titanoboa, the undisputed serpent king of a forgotten world.